Hey guys, and welcome back to the wonderful world of The Sims 4. My name is Abby, and today we're doing just a quick speed build, kind of to celebrate the new stuff pack that just came out today. It's just bowling stuff pack, which, I mean, the bowling portion of it sounds great, but I was more excited about the fact that we're getting a lot of mid-century objects, really retro-looking stuff. Oh, I've been so excited about it. So I started doing this build last week. So I did the actual building last week, and I planned out, what the house would look like. I did, the exterior of it, and I kind of mapped out the layout, and I also did put in some flooring and wallpapers and stuff that will get changed later on to some of the new stuff that came with the pack. But I knew kind of what direction I was headed in, so I did want to put those in there as kind of some place markers for what I wanted to do whenever the pack actually came out. So I've been really excited about this, as I've said already like 5 times in this video. But mid-century style houses are actually one of my favorite, and this is the first one I've actually done on my channel here. And I guess that's kind of because we don't really have that many objects for mid-century style, the really retro 70-ish. Well, I mean, mid-century I guess would be between like the 50s, 60s, 70s. That's what I think of as mid-century anyway. Maybe the 70s is kind of reaching, but that's usually what I mean. Very retro, very colorful, bright, the mustard yellows and the deep burnt orange colors. I love them. They're beautiful. It took me a little bit longer today than I actually expected it to get this video out, because I thought that the video would come, or the pack actually would come out earlier in the day than it did. So I actually had class between about 12 o'clock and, what time did I get out? Probably a little after 2. So I had class between there, and I'd started doing the interior of the build before I left for class. But, I was expecting it to come out a lot earlier in the morning, and it didn't. And it was like 30 minutes before class was supposed to start before I actually got to start working with the pack. So, yeah, I was expecting to have this out like this morning. I didn't get to do that, so I'm sorry about that. But I will also have another video up today, so I'm going to do a double upload today. And so the other video will be just some, gameplay of the actual bowling stuff. I downloaded a bowling alley from the gallery, and I'm not really sure whose it was from, but I'll show that in the actual video of me doing that. So it's really bright and really colorful and pretty, and I think this is going to be really an interesting, date place, for some of my Let's Plays and stuff. I guess I could take some teenagers out on dates to the bowling alleys, that kind of a thing. I've never really been one for bowling, I guess. Bowling's okay. I was never really good at it, and I like to do things I'm good at, so I'm one of those people that gets really competitive, and so whenever I go out and do something that I'm not very good at, it makes me really get upset. I get really hard on myself, and it's not that I cry or anything. Of course I wouldn't do that. I'm an adult. I'm gonna act like a grown-up, but I really am not big on bowling. Also, I'm not big on bowling because of the bowling shoes. You have to rent the shoes, and I understand that they sanitize them and stuff, but it's just not enough to me. Wearing shoes that somebody else has worn, and by somebody else I mean several hundred somebody else's have worn, it feels disgusting to me. Even though they supposedly, sanitize the shoes or whatever, it just, I don't know. There's something about it that just grosses me out. I mean, I've been bowling, so obviously it doesn't gross me out that much, but, I mean, it grosses me out enough. It really does. But, I mean, in the same respect, I guess you could think the same way about, restaurants, because you're eating off the same forks and spoons and stuff that other people have. And honestly, I've worked in several restaurant settings, and those things just go through a dishwasher. It's a big industrial type looking dishwasher, but it works the same as a kitchen dishwasher, and for some reason I just don't feel like it gets that clean. And there's a difference between a dishwasher at home, where it's just you and your family members that have eaten off of those utensils, or people that you're close to, and eating off of things that have several hundred or maybe thousands or even 100,000s of people have eaten off of. that you don't even know. It just, ugh, it's kind of gross when you think about it. I try not to think about it. So, I'm sorry if I ruined restaurants for everybody else out there, but I can't help but think of it. And I don't know, maybe it is because I actually have worked in several restaurant settings and kind of have seen it and seen how gross people can be. I don't know. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the fan in the background here, but it's way too hot right now to not have the fan on. It's like 80 degrees already, and it's just March, and it's making me dread the summertime. I actually hate summertime in Alabama. I hate it. It's just, it makes me mad. I don't know if anybody else out there gets like so hot that they get mad, but I do, and I really cannot stand the heat. It's awful. So, yeah. Sorry, you can hear the fan there. It's 80 degrees and I can't help it. So I need the fan. Anyway, I have just kind of rambled this whole entire time for this video. But, it's a bowling stuff pack. There's really kind of not that much to say. I've already told you guys some of these things in here will change. Especially whenever I start playing around with the new wall paneling and the... what is it, the stone that actually comes with the game pack. So that brick is all going to vanish here in just a few minutes. This is actually where I got to start playing with the pack. So all that's been before this part has been like whenever I was building last week, just building the house and stuff, before the pack actually came out. And the way I was able to do that, like get inspiration to do that, was I just kind of watched the trailer for it, and I just picked out pieces of furniture. And I was thinking to myself, okay, that's going to go here, and this is going to go here, and I'm going to use those colors, and, that's pretty much what I did. And whenever I actually started opening up the pack and looking at it and looking what all color schemes I could go with, I changed some things up here and there. Not a whole lot, though. I do take out that god-awful yellow carpeting, which I thought was a really good idea at the time, but then I decided to use one of the new really big retro rugs that came with the pack. I feel like I said retro really weird just then. My bad. Okay, retro rugs, that's what I was trying to say. It's kind of a mouthful. So I decided to use that, and it just looked like way too much with the yellow carpeting, so I do change that to a plain carpeting here in just a little while, and you'll see me do that. And I use those rugs actually kind of throughout the house. So I use one there in front of the door, and then I'll use one in the... Oh, no, actually, I don't use that rug in the living area. It's too big. So I use a different rug. I think I use a rug from... Was it Backyard Stuff? Or... Yeah, I think it was the Backyard Stuff pack. I think it came with several different patterns, and there's like an orange and blue and white one, and I think that's the one I use. So, yeah, I'm going to use that in the living area here in just a few minutes. And then I will use the bowling rug again in the kids' bedroom. So, yeah, that got a little bit confusing. I was a little confused. And the lights right now on the wall are a little bit much, I'll be honest. I was just kind of going crazy with it, trying to figure out what to do with them, because I really like them. They're very interesting. And I have them right there as kind of like a splashback for a few minutes, and then the way they were layered on top of each other, you could see kind of some like visual disturbance, I guess, where they kind of like crap. I don't even know what to say or how to say what I'm trying to say. I've said it before. It's like when you're thinking of a word, or when you're trying to think of a word for something and you can't think of it. That's what's happening to me right now. But yeah, there's just some visual tearing. There we go. Visual tearing that happens with the lights kind of layering over each other if they're different colors. So I did take one of those layers off. I really like this kitchen. I love the muted green tone there. It's very nice. I really love the flooring. I've never used that flooring. It's actually base game. It's really, really ugly, but in the best way. Like, it's in a... I could see it in an actual house like this. And I really thought that the kind of the living room, like in another level, looked really good. Especially with that new bowling stuff screen divider over the half wall. I thought it looked very interesting. I would have liked that screen divider to actually come in a wood grain finish, just as one of the swatches, but it didn't. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Not gonna lie, it would have looked really great in a wood grain, and it would have looked better there. But the orange, it does okay. I mean, it's not that awful. I'm not really planning on doing like a review of the pack because there's a lot of people that do that anyway. So if you want to see a review like of somebody going through all the furniture that comes with it or going through all the CAS items, I suggest you do that, especially if you are seeing if you want to actually buy the pack. Yeah, looking at a review is really helpful to see if this is going to be worth the money. I like to get as many of the packs as possible because, hey, I build a lot and a lot of the times I run out of stuff to build with anyway. So, yeah, I've actually been building a lot with the Vampire Stuff Pack and the Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack. So I'm interested in seeing how this is going to affect my build style after this, because this is really different than those packs. Those two packs could kind of be used together, but this is really different from that. And I know you guys can see there that I do have a little ottoman as part of the couch, and that's because there was visual tearing there again, and I actually kind of thought it made it look a little cool, like there's a pillow there or something. So yeah, there's a little ottoman there in the corner of the couch where I just made it an L-shaped couch. Yeah, so it's a little different looking, and some people might not like it, but I thought it looked, you know, pretty cool. Like I said, it just looks like a pillow sitting there or something. I wish we had throw pillows. That would be very useful. I really didn't ever play any of the other Sims games before. Ooh, that's terrible to say, right? Because I make a lot of Sims videos. I feel really bad about saying that because I never played The Sims until The Sims 4 came out. And actually, the way I got into The Sims 4 was because my brother had been playing it. He was really into computer games, PC games, as well as PlayStation and Xbox. I was more into PlayStation than anything. I played a lot of Tomb Raider growing up. That was like the first game I ever played, and a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog on the GameCube, and Zelda, the old Zeldas too, like on the Nintendo 64, I guess. Yeah, so I played a lot of those kind of games, and I never really played PC games, like, ever, until The Sims 4 came out. Then I was really into PC games. I was like, yes, I love it. So now I play a lot of PC games, and me and my brother joke because, I mean, we kind of go back and forth about things that we're really into. I actually study, like, political science is my major in college, and I was planning on getting a law degree after I graduate. Well, not after obviously after I graduate law school, but so I'm planning on going on to law school at some point in time in the next few years. But we kind of joke because at one point in time he was the one that was always gaming and everything, and I was the one that was very involved in politics and political debate and discussion and things like that, like online stuff for politics. I mean, it's hard to explain exactly what you do with politics, but everybody should be involved, I think, in politics, because everybody's opinion matters, and everybody can change the world if they really want to. But anyway, we kind of joke and go back and forth because now he's the one that's really more involved in politics, and I'm the one that's kind of more involved in PC gaming. And he's involved in music, and I used to be involved in music. And we just kind of went back and forth on things that we're interested in a lot of similar things anyway, so we just kind of go back and forth on who's interested in what at what particular time. So I did spend the rest of that video rambling again, but I think I got all my main points out there. We're now in the screenshots, and you can see I've got a lot of like psychedelic colors. I love this house. I could live in this house. I could see myself living in this house. My dad's really into this similar kind of style too, so I'm gonna have to show him. He would really, really love this. He'd really appreciate it. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I know I ramble sometimes, and it's not the most interesting conversation, but you know, sometimes it's more interesting than just like making up stuff to say about a house the entire time. I kind of like it when other YouTubers go on rambles, and you know, I'm on another one right now. But anyway, thank you guys so much again for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I will talk to you guys soon.